Can everybody see my main screen?
No, it's not showing, Karen.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it on my list of. Can you see anything now?
No, it's still not sharing.
Huh. Yeah, it's not giving me the.
You should have.
Yeah, I did. I've got share, but then when it tells me when it gives me the choices for screens, it's not coming up.
Let's see. If I do screen share from my end, it will be only mine.
Wait, now can you see mine now?
All righty.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Okay. And this I'm working using the test site because we have not deployed this into production yet. So you'll see it says test site up here. It's not going to look like that for you guys. Obviously, it'll be on the regular site. So what this is this training is the portion when if the client has already received her BCC services and been vouched for them in this contract year. So in other words, she's already done her services in this particular contract year for her for her BCC services, and you want to bring her back for just the wise woman part, then this we call it create comprehensive without BCC exams, or dummy comprehensive technically. Then you would create this form to do that, to allow just the wise woman portion. But I just want to reiterate that we'd only do this specialized small form in pre-approved cases, and if the BCC screening form had already been submitted and vouched this contract year. So the first part of it is that if, let's say you had one of these cases and you called IDPH and they authorized this additional office visit to be paid, the first thing you need to do is get into the consent. So I'm going to pull up my client here. And so I've got my client's limits date up, and as you can tell, this client was enrolled in July of 2015, and she had her BCC services July 30th of 2018. So this contract year, and they were vouched. And so then you needed to pull her back in for just wise woman services only. So you'll need to, after you talk to IDPH and get your approval for the wise woman to be the claim to be paid, you'd go into edit consent form, and you need to make sure you go ahead and switch her to wise woman now. And it doesn't matter if she'd had limited services, before or whatever, just switch the CRE type to wise woman, and to make sure that the claims in medical billing systems knows that this it will now be a wise woman client. And then our program that we run, when we send the files to Sandy, they will update and be sent with those changes to them. And so I'm going to confirm changes on that. Oh, I didn't finish the last part. Excuse me. Apologize. Okay, edit again. So not only do you need to change the wise woman, you need to go down into the wise woman additional office visit and put the date that Sonia or Denise gave you for the pre-authorization, so that for this additional office visit. And this is not the date that the office visit is going to occur, but the date that they gave to you, saying that they approved that this would happen. So I'm going to say this happened on 2/5/2019. So it's just like our other pre-auth dates. Just put the date in, submit the changes, confirm changes, and then your consent piece is ready. And then what you'll need to do, obviously, of course, is do your health assessment then for that client. And I've already done that just to save time. I went in and put it in, and the date will not be the same as the enrollment date now, obviously, because she had already enrolled before. So the date that they did this was 2/10/2019, and that's okay. Doesn't have to match it, but it has to be after the enrollment. But you've got the health assessment completed then, so that she can be a Wise Woman participant. And now when you go to create the screening form, this is where the process is going to be different than the normal screening forms. And it's like what you guys do in the dummy screening process for breast and cervical diagnostics. If the client would go directly to breast or cervical diagnostics without screening, it's that sort of process of creating a form in a specialized way. So it's very similar to that. So what you do is you click on create new screening as always, but then the same as when you do dummy screenings for breast and cervical, you leave this alone and don't do anything with it. Go up to the form options in the top right and click on it and pull down, and now you will see another link called create comprehensive screening without BCC EDP exams. And this will be what you use to create this screening. So you click on that. And what this allows is the same as like when you do the breast and cervical. It allows you to create this screening form without any BCC exams at all. And so then it will use your measurement date now to be the screening visit date and allow a form submission without any of these other exams. Because as you know, you can't submit a screening form without your normal exams, usually, and on a regular screening form. So, but we have to make sure, like I say too, that you're not going to put any BCC exams on the form, that she's already been vouched. And so this is a very specialized form, only to be used like with the, with the permissions, and that there's no BCC services done, because this shortened form does not show any BCC services, and we can't flip back and forth between a regular screening and this dummy comprehensive screening. So it'll come up and it'll say create comprehensive screening without BCC exams. You may not have version 14 on that, may be an administrative thing, but you may or may not have that, but it will say create comprehensive screening without BCC EDP exams. So then you'll just start the process and put your facility number in. You can still save it, and come back to it. So if I save for later, you'll see now it's up on your summary page and listed like this: screening, no date available, because we haven't put in the date yet, but comprehensive dummy screening. So it'll tell you it's one of those. And then you can complete it this way. Again, the same as always, put your ANSI number in, your NPI number. Client. You do have to fill out this client history section because we need the record in the table to be complete, and we're auto-filling the exams to be no, all the BCC exams, but we can't really autofill this because we don't know, even though it's not really going to be applicable to what you do, but just fill in yes, no, not assessed or unknown. And then, has the woman ever had a Pap test? You'd want to put that information in still too, so our record is complete. Because even though it's not going to go in for BCC services or into the BCC MDEs, it's still going to have all of our records in the same table in the database, because it's a shared table. So
Karen, we've lost you.
Okay. I'm here.
Could you repeat the last part again, because we lost you for a couple of seconds?
Oh, okay. I just said that this client history, even though it's not really not going to be a BCC record, I can't just auto-populate it, because I do want to keep, her medical history correct. And so I don't want to just auto-populate everything with no, like, has the woman ever had a Pap test? And so you do have to complete that. Even though it's not a BCC exam, we have to have our table complete, because it's a shared table between BCC services and Wise Woman. And so even though we won't really be extracting that, you'll need to fill it out. And I can't just auto-populate it as no. So if we'll put in the woman's, you still hearing me?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, sorry, I had a noise, so I was like, I didn't know if I disconnected. Anyway, so then you'll put in the previous Pap day. And then we go down the screening measurement section. So it all looks the same, but if I scroll down, you'll see that and see there's no BCC exams on this form. So you'll just put in your height and your weight like usual, and it'll calculate the BMI like usual. And then you'll put in your blood pressure. And then your measurement date. Let's say they did it on 2/20. So this will now become your screening visit date for these dummy comprehensive forms. You'll see up there now that's been calculated as that. And then you just put in whether the alert blood pressure workup planned or abnormal, and you're done. And then it comes up, and it does not, like, unlike the other dummy screening forms, when you pull them up, it shows everything. This one does not show everything, just because in case you want to edit it, we need the edit mode available, and we can't switch back and forth between one of these dummies and one of the regulars. So this is all you'll see. In the table, everything, all your exams for your breast and cervical, all that's populated as no. So for these in our table, but you won't see any of that on the form. You'll still have the print capability and the delete capability as long as you haven't done your lab. Same thing. And then you'll see the lab is ready to be created, and that's just the same process as normal as before now. So this is just a way to get in an extra comprehensive screening after the BC services have already been done and you aren't doing any BCC services. So any questions? That's really all that I have on this. I'm available then for questions.
Karen?
Yes.
Can we go, because I've noticed that Candy has just joined us. Can we go quickly through it one more time?
Sure.
Yeah. And it will be a revision for everybody as well. Okay.
I'm going to use just the same one, I think, and just kind of walk through. Well, I guess I can try to do a different one. I can't do it's like the other, other comprehensive forms. You can't create two comprehensive forms. It won't allow that. So once this gets in, it looks the same like a comprehensive until you click on it, and then you'll see it's one of these special ones. Okay, so what I was saying was when you come in, and you would only do this special process if it's been authorized by IDPH and if you've already done the BCC services in this contract year and they've been vouched. So you're not doing any BCC services on this form. And so if you need to bring a woman back just for the wise woman portion then and have got that pre-authorized with IDPH, the first thing you do is you would go into your consent form, and I've already done this for this client, but I'll just walk through like I didn't. And you would go in and edit your consent form, make sure it was BCC, so make sure you change it to wise woman, so that MBS knows, we'll get the notification that it's going to be a wise woman. And then you will go in and put your additional office visit, is what it's called, under the wise woman section. And this means this is one of these additional office visits that's been authorized by IDPH. And then you put the date in that they pre-authorized this, and then you'll submit changes and it will change and you'll have your date in.
And Karen, as you said, that date there is a date where we pre-authorize the visit, not the actual screening date. Correct?
Right. Yes, exactly. That's like the other pre-authorizations on that, the date that they gave you, that they authorized it and was given to you by phone. And you'll see I did that was 2/5 and that screening is 2/20, so it's not the same date. And then I was saying that you won't have a health assessment form done for this client, but you'll need to do one. The date won't match the enrollment, but that's okay as long as it's after the enrollment. So then she was authorized on 2/5. You went ahead and did your health assessment on 2/10 and filled all that out so that you'd be ready. And then the process is, well, I can't really do it on this because I can try it, but I can't create two. Sorry, I don't have another one set up to do it a second time. So what you do is you start the process the same. It's similar to a dummy breast diagnostic or cervical diagnostic form, that you do those where it allows a diagnostic to be put in without any screening services. This is the same thing. It's allowing a wise woman portion of the screening to be put in, but you're not doing any BCC services at all. So how you do it is you create a new screening, then you don't touch it, just the same as you do for the other dummy comprehensives. You go to the pull down menu and you go create comprehensive screening without BCC exams and click on that. And then it'll pull up the screening. I can't do it again because I've already done one. So I'll click on the one we've already done. And then it's automatically defaults to comprehensive. You can't change that because that's what that is. You put your facility number, ANSI number, NPI number, same as always. You do have to complete the client history section because I don't know the answers to those. And that has to be in our table since it's just shared table, even though it's not a BCC client. But that's the only thing you need to fill out for the BCC portion. The rest of the exams are all going to be populated as no in our table behind the scenes, and you don't even see them on this form. And so then you just fill in your screening measurement section for your comprehensive. Your measurement date on here will become your screening visit date for these types of forms, and then do your follow-up piece and submit it. And you can also save it if you're not ready. Like you do the other forms. You just can't go back and forth between a regular screening form that's going to be a comprehensive with your BCC exams and these dummy comprehensive forms. This is a specialized case only. So if you needed to do BCC exams, that would be different, and we'd either delete this one out or you do another limited. These are just only for these special cases. And then your lab is ready to be created like usual. And as I was showing, you can see that it doesn't look any different up on your enrollment, toggle where you click on the screenings. But once you click on it, you can tell that this isn't one of the specialized forms. Any questions then?
Ladies, you can unmute yourselves and ask questions, or you can also use the chat box. And I believe we have our first question. So it's from Candy. What if the client was BCC, had a mammogram, but no CBE, and she went to Wise Woman then at the office visit?
Then it's a normal comprehensive screening form.
Does it answer your question, Candy?
I mean, and it might not get paid. That's like the normal thing. I mean, it's like your normal thing where you need to coordinate them together and do your comprehensive screening first. And then if the mammogram's later, then, because we only pay for, we vouch for the first one first, but the mammogram isn't her normal office visit. This form is if they already had their normal office visit for BCC paid, right, Sonia? Jump in if I'm not explaining it correctly. This is a special circumstance only.
That's correct.
So, yeah. So you only use this if we're not doing any BCC office visits, CBE or anything.
Any more questions? Please feel free to unmute yourselves or use the chat box. And we have another question. Trying to bring it up. Okay. So up in the form options tab, I don't click on any of those options.
Excuse me, for what?
So it's the same question from Candy. Is what if the client was BCC, had a mammogram but no CBE, and she went to Wise Woman then at the office visit? And she's asking as well. So up in the form options tab, I don't click on any of those options.
No, this is only for those clients where you have special circumstance for IDPH. So no, if you're doing your additional office visit with your CBE, that's our same as we do it now. You have to coordinate your MAM and your office visit so they work correctly together to be able to get your comprehensive form in. But you wouldn't have had your services done yet, so you wouldn't. It's how we coordinate those now. This is just only the special ones that Sonia will authorize for you, and we can discuss outside of this a little more if you need to. But So no, if you during BCC exams, you do not use this because there's nowhere to put them in. This is totally for these just special cases where they're just going in for the wise woman.
Because they've already done the BCC part.
Right, exactly. They've already done their BCC office visit. And a mammogram isn't their office visit.
Okay, we have another question, and Candy says okay. Any more questions, ladies? You can use the chat box, or you can unmute yourselves and ask over the mic.
Yeah, and sign. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I just meant feel free, Sonia, or anybody to jump in because I'm showing the website process of how to do it. But if there's other, processes about the administration of why we're doing this or how it needs to happen, please feel free to jump in because this is just to show you how to be able to get these forms in so that it works. But I don't have all the other answers to the other.
Oh, okay. I can just give a little bit of background information then, since we didn't do that at the beginning. So this visit is for, in our budget, we've allocated for approximately 25% of all of our Wise Women clients to come back in and have an office visit. In case you're running out of numbers for BCC and need to go back and bring in an already enrolled BCC participant to get her lab work done to be Wise Woman. So if we ask that you contact us first to get prior authorization if you have somebody that you need to bring back in.
Yes, and they would have already had their, as Sonia said, they would already have had their BCC services done this contract year and vouched for and everything.
Right.
So
yeah.
we could not put them in the normal way.
And we realize that a lot of you will be running low on your BCC numbers and may not have enough women to enroll everyone at the same time. So that's why we had to do this.
Thanks, Sonia.
Yeah.
Ellen, is there something that you wanted to add?
Pardon me.
I'm asking Ellen if there was something she wanted to add as well. And okay, and Ellen says she doesn't have anything to add. Okay, thank you, Ellen. Any more questions, ladies? Karen, is there something that you wanted to add?
I don't think so. Unless I don't really have anything at this time unless anybody has any comment or question.
So I'm not seeing any questions come in. So as per usual, we are recording this webinar and we'll put it out on our portal in the next couple of days. And also, if you have any questions after the webinar, please feel free to contact us and Karen as well.
Yes, definitely. I was going to say, if you're not sure which way to go, just give me a call and we can talk through it and figure it out. So,
Sonia, do you have something else to add?
Nope, I don't think so.
Okay, ladies, I wish you all a very great day and a very good week.
I will say one thing. If you're going on production, if you're going into the website, you won't find this yet because it hasn't been released yet. We wanted to do the training first, and then I will let you know when it is released onto the production site. So just don't get confused if you don't see it.
Okay, thank you for that, Karen. Okay, if nobody has anything else to add, I wish you all a good day and a great week. Thank you. And
Thank you.
I'll stop the recording now.